the St. Johns River, we look inside Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. On the visitors' sideline, that's Dave Canales trying to get the Panthers turned around in his second season. Across from him, you've got the coach of the Jaguars. This guy's come in off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans. So what lies in store for these teams this season? The talking's done. We're about to find out. It's week 1, and off we go on EA Sports. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. So the Panthers led out by their quarterback, Bryce Young. Shaky rookie year, but the back end of his second year, Greg, very effective for the man who was the #1 overall pick out of Alabama in 2023.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week 1 of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
From 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Tremble comes in motion. A quick throw on the RPO is complete. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. First catch for him on this new season. And it results in a first down.
The timing of these RPO concepts, that's the entire key. Remember, Mike, in the college game, they get a 3-yard window that they're allowed to be downfield even on a forward pass. That's not the rule in the NFL. These decisions have to be made quickly. If not, even after a good pickup, you could be coming back due to a flag. Well, nothing doing here, and I think you can see pretty early on. Now, while he's trying to remain patient and see if a hole pops, it's just too slow of a developing play. He never gets into the teeth of the defense at all and ends up being taken down for a loss.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. Out of the shotgun, Young. That into the hands of Hubbard. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
Here's a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Young. He's got a man! That's McMillan! First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down. First down, Panthers.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
Young to throw on 1st and 10. He'll go right back to McMillan, complete. And he's out of bounds on the pass play, but that's good for 8 yards.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
Young hands it to Hubbard. And I don't think he got there wrapped up in the line of scrimmage, and now you're looking at 3rd down.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
They're trying to run for it with Hubbard. And that's not going to work either. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, what looked like an advantage for the offense, Mike, facing 2nd and short now, has turned into a win for the defense. Back-to-back stops for a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
Here's Eddie Pinheiro now, as the Panthers will try the field goal. This will be from 47 yards. Pinheiro's kick is good. And the Panthers will take a 3-0 lead.
A lot of times as an offensive player, you come off the field, you're not thrilled to end a drive like this with a field goal. But I think in this case, you can label it a success. You were able to operate your offense. You were able to quiet this crowd just a little bit and come away with an early lead.
They'll get across the 20, smoke them down at the 23-yard line. So here come the Jaguars, and Greg, it brings out Trevor Lawrence. Many ups and downs in his first 4 seasons. Now year 5 for the former #1 overall pick out of Clemson.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. Every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves. New season, new opportunity. Can I still do this at a high level? And man, you get through that first game and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. There's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back to playing ball, they're going to have a big advantage coming away with a big win today.
And they'll mark them down just shy of the 40. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
Hey, Lions!
Lawrence now. Catch made right side by Thomas. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
That's good. Another Jacksonville. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They do a really nice job of picking up the pressure, and that's what allows him to have the time to go through his entire progression. He sees his check down wide open, gets the ball into his hands, and he does the rest.
Lawrence out quickly to Thomas on the RPO. And they'll take this down inside the 35. 2 straight hookups. This one good for 10 yards. Set to go now on first and 10.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Lawrence gives this one to ETN. And he finds some space, tackles after a gain of 7 on first down. So, from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 2.
23. Done. Motion. Here we go.
On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from the April draft. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards. Stay on track, because you don't want to be in 3rd and pass too often in today's NFL.
They'll try and run for the first with ETN. This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
So it's a pretty manageable 3rd down, so they really have the option to run or pass, so they decide to keep the ball on the ground, which I don't mind as long as you've made the decision already that you're willing to use 4th down to pick up the rest of the yards. If not, I think that's a big mistake.
Little's kick is good. And the Jaguars will tie the game at 3 apiece.
And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
Field goals for both sides on their opening possessions. 3-3 as this one's kicked away. A good return as he takes it across the 30. So, Greg, here comes Panthers. You know this franchise so well. What an interesting stretch last year. 2 wins 2 years ago. Bryce Young now turned around with 5 wins, but maybe more than the record last year, the momentum that you felt from the Panthers at season's end.
I'll tell you, if you would have said the season was going to end with the hope and the energy around that Panthers organization that it did, I think people would have thought you were crazy. Bryce Young's rookie year, obviously up and down. Early on in year 2 last year, he gets benched. And then only because of an Andy Dalton freak car accident, he finds himself back in the lineup, and he plays the best ball of his young career. That looked like Alabama Heisman Trophy quarterback Bryce Young. So the entire narrative around Carolina has changed. They're no longer searching for their quarterback at the moment. Continue to build talent around them. They went wide receiver with their first-round pick. Continue to support Bryce Young and continue to add pieces on defense. They're not quite ready to contend yet, but they're a lot closer now than they were a year ago.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Pick up on the 11 yards on that one. It's a Carolina first down.
Carolina.
So, first quarter in the books here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. 3-all is the score. We'll have more from Jacksonville after this. Panthers football to begin this second quarter as they've got it with 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Here's Young. Over the middle, he locates McMillan. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. A big play for the Panthers. 33 yards.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
Ready. Ready.
To throw, Young. This one taken in by Renfro. A second effort, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Now, remember back, Mike, their first drive, they had to settle for 3. So they definitely didn't want to have to do that again. So really solid drive from start to end, and they're finally able to cap it off with a touchdown.
On now, Eddie Pinheiro for the extra point. His kick is good. Panthers takes a 10-3 lead. So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. On the return, it's Parker Washington. Oh, he's got room past the 30. So, Greg, this Jacksonville team comes out. I thought last year this was going to be one of those ascending teams after a playoff run before 13 in 2024. Changes trying to surround Trevor Lawrence with a new group to make some successful headway.
Yeah, now the question is, can Liam Cohen? We saw him work wonders last year in his first year as coordinator down with the Tampa Bay Bucks. The job he did with Baker Mayfield. Can he bring some of that magic, stay in state, and now bring it to Trevor Lawrence? Everyone you're talking about in Jacksonville, like they just rave about him. He's the franchise. He's everything we wanted. Well, now it's time for him to show it. Now it's time for them to compete for division titles, compete for AFC Championship. Got a little help now. Maybe the best two-way guy we've seen, I don't know, should we say since Dion? I mean, that's probably the best comparison, his old college coach. But Travis Hunter, he's going to bring excitement to Jacksonville. Let's see where they use him. Both sides of the ball, fun packages, exciting player. I think there's some magic in store in Jacksonville, but can Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, they're going to drive that ship.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Working out of the gun. Pressure gets there, and down he goes. Kershawn Wharton taking him down for the first sack of this new campaign.
Just another example of poor decision-making. I mean, making a bad play even worse. There's nothing there on second down. Just throw the ball into the stands and move on to third. Now you take that sack, and it's going to take a miracle to stay on the field.
Lawrence from the gun here on third down. That'll be intercepted. Picked off by Christian Roseboom. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I know it doesn't seem like a ton of yards on top of that pick, but that was really well done. I mean, it's just going to make life so much easier now as the offense takes the field, trying to capitalize off of that turnover.
The Panthers offense and Bryce Young set for their next possession. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division, yet people overlook it at times, and maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. I mean, you mentioned Super Bowl teams. Tampa Bay went 1-1 recently with Brady. And then Atlanta, they make the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. And New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees. And Carolina, we played in a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets. New coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay's been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it, you know it. While these may not be the biggest markets in the league, the rivalries amongst these teams really elevates what you see when you watch them. And they're going to get to him and take him down, take him back to the other side of midfield. Eric Armstead working his way in to register his first sack of the new season.
And all of these downs, they're all tied together. Decisions made on first and second down are what led to that result on third. They were forced into an obvious passing situation on third and long, and this pass rush is able to just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback.
On fourth down, Carolina going to send out Sam Martin to punt. As this drive went backwards, he's on to kick it away. And he didn't get the check he was hoping for on that one. That goes into the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Here comes the Jacksonville offense now, heading back onto the field. Greg, when you look at the AFC South, there's an appreciation for what the Houston Texans have done. A couple of different quarterbacks, a couple of different head coaches. They've really been the team over the last several years that has been the team to beat in this division. And for the others, there's been moments. The question is, what pieces can they put together to try to knock Houston off the top?
Yeah, and you know, nobody wants to be in the league, right, Mike? Your coach got fired probably for a reason. You're drafted at the top of the draft order for a reason. Typically means things didn't go great. But if you're going to rebuild, I'll tell you, you want to do it in a division where there's a lot of wins on your schedule. And that's certainly the AFC South over the last couple years. So as bad as things feel with your Jacksonville and Tennessee, the fact that there's not a big dog in your division, your ability to find yourself climbing up the ladder is not as far as away as it might seem in the moment.
And Greg, I've heard you say a bunch of times, if you have a quarterback, you have a chance. Well, both of the teams at the bottom of the division last year, Jacksonville and Tennessee, they've got #1 overall picks as their quarterbacks. One who's been around for a bit in Trevor Lawrence and one who's recently been drafted in Cam Ward. They have to be #1 overall pick performers for these teams to come and challenge at the top.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And with Trevor Lawrence, like, we've seen him play top-tier #1 overall, got a big new contract. I mean, we've seen him play franchise quarterback level ball. It just hasn't been frequent enough. And then, of course, in Tennessee with Cam Ward, we're not sure what it's going to look like, but we knew in college he was incredible. So if they get the Cam Ward we saw last year at Miami, if he brings that culture-changing presence on and off the field in that locker room to Tennessee, we wouldn't be surprised to see Jacksonville and Tennessee higher up that list.
Bigger return, but as it is, nice job getting his offense a start out past the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense ready to get back at it. Now, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place we talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime. Each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because it just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, and you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well,
now he lost the football, but this is taken in by a teammate. The Jaguars offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They're breaking. Start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025?
Now, as I start the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument if they're a playoff team that Joe Burrow was the best player. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average? Because if they just play a little bit better with that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those Wildcat spots.
Why don't you flip it over? Who are the guys who are watching the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves, just the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now in year 2? They were the high-profile, big splash team of last year. Do they regress to the median? Time will tell. But I think healthy Dallas, healthy Dak, healthy Micah Parsons, like that roster that we saw play last year is not the roster on paper that we expected to see. So I think Dallas has a chance. I think San Francisco always is going to be a team, again, dealt with their own injuries last year, and all the stuff on defense. So I think San Francisco and Dallas are 2 perennial teams we expect to be in the playoff hunt. They missed out last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back in it again this year.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. In the pistol, here's Lawrence. First down throw there is incomplete.
You know, it's hard to speculate, Mike. We sit up here and we try to just interpret and assume what's going on in the minds of the players and the minds of the coaches, but they seem to me to be a little bit rattled. All these negative plays have really started to pile up in the first half. He's got to settle down.
He's in! Yummy Brown! Touchdown Jaguars! A terrific play all the way around, finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Hook the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Cam Little comes on now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Jaguars will tie things up. It's now 10-10. Ball level at 10 as this one's kicked off. On the return, here's Xavier Leggett. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Panthers offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talked about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England, and Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams, but I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Davante Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing by the Rams.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is Sam Darnold. And, of course, we all saw that incredible season he had last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and that really dynamic Vikings offense. So now he goes to Seattle. I think he's going to have an inspired Cooper Kupp. He was let go from the Rams. He's healthy. He's a big weapon. Jackson Smith-Njigba. He has some pieces in that puzzle that he can push the ball downfield to. So I'm excited to see Sam. That's what everyone thought he was going to be coming out of college when he was a high draft pick of the New York Jets.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. McMillan comes in motion. A 2nd down throw for Young. And he won't get away. Good open tackle there to get him down behind the line. The Panthers, they're going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining here in half number 1. Here's Young. Here comes the screen to Brooks. And he puts his head down and he picks up the 1st down.
Number 24, Jonathan Brooks. A gain of 7. 1st down, Carolina.
On 2nd down, Young. Back to the right, caught by Sanders. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Panthers.
Check right. Here we go, set.
Throwing on 2nd down, Young. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him. He really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
That one, take it in. Xavier Legette, touchdown, Panthers.
Just a really nice job, Mike, especially just staying poised. Pressure situation, you know how important it is to steal some points before the half, but everybody's in control. Everybody understood the situation and the clock, and they're able to finish that half in style with that late touchdown.
Now Pinheiro to add on the extra point. It's up and through. And the Panthers go up by 7. It is now 17-10. Final 9 seconds of this half, and the kick is away. Washington now to return it. And he will only be able to muster the 20-yard line on that return.
At their own 20-yard line.
now to throw on first down. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you. This one still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with the hot hand as our second half is about to get underway. Washington now to return it. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Jaguars offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. Find themselves trailing 17-10 now, as they come up with first down and 10. The drive begins with a carry from Etienne. And their woes in the running game continue. He's going to be taken down behind the line.
With the struggles they had running the ball in the first half, Mike, it makes sense that they're trying here early in the second to get this ball carrier going. This last run's not going to do him any favors. Another rush, another loss of yards.
Hey, run!
Second down, Lawrence. That's complete to Etienne. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. A little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And great determination as he gets forward and picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on third down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
Here's first and 10.
Hey, easy. Route. Hey,
Now here's Lawrence. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Derek Brown getting in there to bring him down. His first sack of the season.
The offense is trying to stretch the field vertically. They're trying to put as many receivers into the coverage deep as possible. But you know what you need? You need time. You need to allow those guys to get downfield. But when you have a pass rush like this, they don't let that time unfold, and that pocket collapsed and results in a sack.
And he gets him 6 yards closer before going out of bounds. Third down coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
let's go.
Now Lawrence looking middle, and he spots Hunter there. 13 yards on that pass play. That's good for a Jaguar. First down.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
They'll turn and hand this one off. Oh, and the rookie puts it on the deck. It's a fumble. The Panthers have it.
And with all this talk about ball security, I can tell you firsthand, like, a lot of it just becomes mental. It's like the more you think about it, the more you stress it in practice, it almost gets worse. It's one of those things that when it starts to spiral, it's just hard to pull yourself out.
Panthers offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive.
Here we go. Here we go.
In motion comes the tight end, Evans. This drive begins with a run by Hubbard. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. 16 yards on the game and a quick first down.
And the Panther first down.
So as we take a look at the box score, Mike, you realize here they got the lead. We're in the second half, but they don't have a lot of rush yards. It's because they use the passing game to score points and establish the lead. Now, how we judge their run game is from here to the end of the game. Can they pile up yards now in the second half and close this game out?
He'll be taken down at about the 33-yard line. Travis Hunter, the rookie, the number 2 overall pick, gets in there to make the tackle.
Ready. Ready. Ready.
Here's Young to throw. A toss, left side, caught by his running back. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. It's good for a Panther first down.
Come on.
Out of the shotgun, Young. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Bell run, and for the first time, it's Jonathan Brooks. He'll only about 3, so it will bring up 3rd down. Legette in motion. From the gun here on 3rd down, it's Young. That one taken in right side by Legette.
First and goal, Carolina.
The most impressive thing about this drive, Mike, has really just been their efficiency. They've just continued to pick up first downs, fresh sets of downs. We just saw there with that 3rd down conversion, continue to possess the ball. These opportunities to come away with points continue to go up.
They'll run with Hubbard. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
Push back to the 11-yard line for 2nd and goal. He takes off.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You can see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
From the gun, it's Young. And that is incomplete.
So anytime you find yourself in 3rd and long, it's hard to really be unpredictable as a play caller because the defense knows it's most likely going to be a pass. They understand where the down and distance markers are, and there's really nowhere for him to go with the ball, and he has to throw it away. Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
Washington now to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Jags offense and their running back, Facial Tootin, heading back for their next possession. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10.
Hey, Ron!
Lawrence out to Hunter. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
At the 30-yard line.
Back to throw. Lawrence. Right back to Hunter. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line. 14 on the pickup. First down, Jacksonville.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
On first down, Lawrence. Open man left side is Brown. He's got it. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot.
First and 10 at the 30.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. First and 10.
Lisa 24.
Fourth quarter now, and it'll begin with a run by Etienne. And the struggles continue. He's dropped behind the line again.
Just feels like this has been the story of the day for this offense, just unable to get anything going on the ground, and a big reason they find themselves trailing and another loss of yards.
Here's a 2nd and 12.
On red.
To throw is Lawrence. Throwing over the middle, this one is complete. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. 17 yards on that connection. That's good for a Jaguar. First down. To throw is Lawrence. Fires quickly. It is complete on the slant. And he will score. Game on. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the fourth quarter. So they've cut into the lead. Now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. On the return, here's Trevor Etienne. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense now as they head out to take over for their next possession. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10.
Check right. Check right.
Get this drive started on the ground. It's Hubbard. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
At this stage in the fourth quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Young. The second down throw is incomplete.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball. up to this point, and yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down.
To set up the screen here to Hubbard. And they were hoping for a little more on that one. Brought down well short of the first. It'll bring up 4th down. On now is the punt team for the Panthers, as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a 4th quarter lead. This fielded inside the 35. And it'll be a good return. He's able to get it up past the 40-yard line. The Jaguars offense getting set to get back to work. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. On 1st and 10, Lawrence. Pass caught by Hunter. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
Hey, hey.
On the give, it's ETN. And the woes in the running game continue. They're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Red 23.
Lawrence from the gun here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down, or simply punt or kick a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
Jaguars ready to punt this one away. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. A fair catch signals, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Panthers offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10.
Yellow, 1. Set. 52 bulls. Set.
We're going to run right over center with Hubbard. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. It's a zone read given to Hubbard. And this defense not fooled by the option. They stick with the running back and they get him down for no gain. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down.
Let's go.
To throw, Young. Moving to his left. We'll try to run for it.
An 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Panthers.
Here you are at the end of the game. You need a stop. You find yourself trailing. You have everybody covered, and the quarterback gets loose. Those are the plays that just kill a defensive coordinator. You're about to force a punt, about to get the ball back to your offense. Give credit to the quarterback. He made a play when they needed it.
And he's able to force his way through one man, but he can only muster about a yard on that play. 2nd down.
Ready?
Another run here with Hubbard. And they will finally track him down inside the 40-yard line. A gain there of 23 yards. It's a Carolina 1st down.
First down.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead. You're in the 4th quarter. They're able to pop off a big run.
This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Now Young. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch from contact.
And he's very close to a 1st down, but it doesn't look like he got there. And yes, they're going to mark him a yard short.
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on 4th down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
On 4th down, a throw out wide. That is dropped. That could be a live football. The Jaguars have it. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown. What a terrible play for the offense. You're trying to gain some momentum. Here you not only lose the handle of the ball, you hand the defense 6 points.
And Mike, how often do we see that when a player loses the ball, his confidence is not far behind? And I think in this case, that's where the coaching comes in. Put your arm around it. Hey, we're giving you the ball in this next possession. We believe in you. They've got to get this player back into the flow of the game after that back-breaking turnover that led to the defensive touchdown.
So now playing with the lead after that 4th quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense getting their final instruction before heading back onto the field. They'll start out 1st down and 10. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look.
Here we go.
Young to throw on 1st and 10. He'll find his tight end, Tommy Tremble. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 33-yard line.
The Panthers will take their 1st timeout. Here's 2nd down and 3.
Come on, set. 52.
Throwing is Young. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Plenty of time, plus 2 timeouts at their disposal. It's 1st and 10.
30. Ready.
They'll stick to the ground. The hold closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
Here's 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Oh, and a pressure there. He can't get a throw away. And he's taken down.
A loss of
is Young. This defense hitting their ears back, coming to get him again. Now or never, they'll throw on fourth down.
So the key to this fourth down stop defensively was their ability to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Anytime you can do that, you shrink the field, you limit the quarterback's options, and in this case, he can't find anyone, and ultimately, he goes down for a huge fourth down stop.
Here comes the Jacksonville offense now, heading back onto the field. And still 2 timeouts left for the defense, but no real need to use them. They're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They'll give it to ETN on the option. Now the timeout for Carolina. It's going to be their second. And they'll get together prior to the second down play.
When you look throughout this game, Mike, I don't think there's even debate. This defensive line has clearly won the battle at the line of scrimmage over this offensive line. And for an offense that wants the run game to be such a critical element to its plan, they've got to do a better job because there's nowhere to run, there's no holes for the back to find, and all these 0 or negative runs are putting them in some really bad spots.
It is 3rd and 10.
Hey, Lion!
Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That is caught by Washington. And he will score! Touchdown, Jaguars!
And that's exactly how you stress all week finishing a game. Get the ball and leave no doubt. But that late touchdown, Mike, that should all but just seal this victory away.
Here's Cam Little for the PAT. He's got it. And the Jaguars will open it up even further. It's here in this fourth quarter. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. We get on the return. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Panthers offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Young. Going for it all. And this is too far out in front. That one's incomplete. General McMillan was the intended receiver. It's 2nd down.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
And he's out of bounds up beyond the 45-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down. The motion man is Sanders. On 1st down is Young.
Just a simple hitch route. Certainly nothing special there or anything downfield, but the idea is the more of those you throw and those efficient passes, the second the defense moves up to take it away, that's when you go for the big ones.
Crowd noise rises. Big play here. 3rd and 1. Hubbard. It looks like he's got enough for the 1st down. Let's wait for the mark. Yes, that run, that's enough to move the chains.
First down.
Mark out at 21 as he's able to spike it right there. Another try, 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun. Young. Quick throw, out wide. It's caught. And he gets him 6 yards closer before going out of bounds. It's 3rd down coming up.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
He's got his tight end, that's Sanders. And he's brought down, but they are out of timeouts.
Sanders. A gain of 19 yards.
Here we go. One final play. And the final throw of the game winds up incomplete, and that will do it. This one comes to an end. So it's a win here for the Jaguars. They move to 1-0, getting the victory to begin the new campaign. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Jaguars are the winners here at home as we say so long from Jacksonville.